But last question, I guess, is how do we balance this kind of patient experience with regulation, the rules to keep us safe? Because both are so important, right? So how do we balance that to transform, reimagine clinical trials?
I think the thing, and this is what a lot of the regulators are now doing, and I really appreciate it, is I'll preface it with some people don't appreciate it, is
Okay.
they're giving guidance rather than rules now. And the reason I say some people don't like it is some people like rules. They like boundaries. They like to know exactly where they need to be. And if I do this, it's right. If I do this, it's wrong. So I'm going to do this. And what a lot of them are saying now is look, there isn't right or wrong. There isn't perfect. You can't do perfect. And I'll try and find it at some point. There's a brilliant quote. I say a quote. There's a brilliant line in one of the regulations that reads like something out of a Taylor Swift song. And it's basically along the lines of the only way that you can achieve perfection is by putting in more effort and resources than what is actually viable. So don't. Focus where it matters. Focus, really where it's going to have an impact. And I think for a lot of people now, that is where the patient side comes in of, do we need it to be as strict as it was? Do we need to control everything? As long as we're looking after the patient well-being, as long as the data produced is in a state that it is viable, that it is trustworthy, that you can tell where it's come from, how it was generated, do we need to turn around to people and say, oh, by the way, you need to do this, this, and this, and you need to take this at exactly this time, and you need to have a diet of this, and you need to do this, and you're not eligible because of this reason and that reason? Does that really have an impact? Is that really the risk? Is that there? And I like the fact that the regulations now are saying, look, we're not going to tell you what's right or wrong. We're just going to say to you, look, this is what you need to remember that's core to this. And as long as you're at the core, again, patient well-being, their safety, the data validity, the rest of the stuff is fine. Like, don't sweat it. It will be okay. And I think that's
Yeah.
really having a big impact.
Yeah, one thing I like saying to my clients and businesses I work with is like, some patient experience is better than nothing. You know what I mean? Some patient research is, just do something, and it's just like, I think people get really like, oh, we need to do a survey of 3,000 people and all this sort of stuff. No. Let's start small and just, something is better than nothing. And I think in terms of user experience, that's one thing I learned early on in my career, and something I always try and drive and remember is like, some UX is better than no UX, because it might be that difference between somebody understanding that consent form to be able to go on that trial and not, it's just like those little simple things.